Hey YouTube, I've been wanting to come back and do another video for a while, but I've just been so busy. So today I wanted to talk about issues of discipline. As you all know, I'm a pediatrician. Have you all noticed that children just aren't as well behaved as they used to be in the past? And in the past, I mean like 20, 30 years ago. Children seem to sit stiller and just behave, but especially in the area of manners. They just don't seem to be having manners, and it's actually our fault, parents, because we are not teaching them manners correctly. We think we are, but we're not. And one glaring example of this is how we teach children to interrupt conversations. We think we're teaching them properly, but what we've told them is that basically if they say the word or the phrase, excuse me, that they have carte blanche to just interrupt whatever conversation, whenever they want to, however they want to say whatever they want to. And they can get to express every fleeting whim or fancy or fleeting thought that comes across their head. That's not right. And many of you all have seen that. Tell me if you haven't seen this. Like you'll see a woman and she's maybe, or whoever, a man too, and they're talking and having a good conversation, with someone else. And like, oh yes, on Tuesday? Yes, I'd like to come by and sign the contract on Tuesday. Tuesday, that works for you? Yeah, about what, 2 o'clock or something? And then you hear, excuse me. And you're like, yes, Connor. Oh my God, thank you for saying excuse me. That's such great manners. What would you like to say, sweetheart? And then Connor says, I like the color yellow. And you're like, you do? That is so good. I like the color yellow too. Did you learn that today? Meanwhile, the person with whom they were having the conversation is like, did I just get upstaged by the color yellow? So that's wrong. Because remember, interrupting is rude. It's always rude, but there are times when interrupting is appropriate. And those times are usually emergencies, and they need to be age appropriately taught emergencies. Like for instance, if you have a toddler who is potty training, like say a 2.5-year-old or a 3-year-old, and they really have to use a bathroom, a full bladder is an emergency for all intents and purposes. So that's okay. A 6-year-old who's fallen and hit themselves, obviously that's okay. Mommy, I hurt myself. That's okay. But to tell you quite frankly, one of the reasons why the children don't know what emergencies are because like adults don't know what emergencies are. Because, you have adults who go to the emergency room for a head cold. And then that's so funny to me because then they'll like talk about it and like be all mad that they had to wait 6 hours. Girl, I was in the emergency room for 6 hours. They ain't even see me till I got there at 6 p.m. They ain't see me till midnight. Because yes. You know why they didn't see you till midnight? You know why you waited 6 hours? Because they were tending to the real emergencies. The gunshot wound, the stroke, the heart attack. Yes. And so your stuffy nose could wait. I know. So we have to teach the children when they should interrupt and really how they should interrupt. And here's the other thing. I've seen other parents who think they're teaching their children not to interrupt, but they're sending mixed messages. Like you see this scenario. Yes, sir, at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Excuse me. Now, Carter, remember, Mommy told you not to interrupt. That's very rude. I'm talking to the little man right here. See me? I'm talking to the man. Don't interrupt Mommy while she's talking to the man. Thank you for saying excuse me, but what is it that you wanted to say anyway? I like the color yellow. Okay, I'm glad you like the color yellow, but next time don't interrupt Mommy, okay? And did you learn that today? That's good that you learned. Okay, that's wrong. Okay, that's crazy. Because you're not correcting the behavior. You're actually encouraging it because you gave them more time than if, you gave them more time. So what you want to do is you want to extinguish and correct the behavior, but you don't want to encourage it. So this is the scenario. Yes, sir. 2 p.m. on Tuesday. That sounds good. Yeah, I can be there. My husband, do you want me to bring him in? Excuse me. Sweetheart, don't interrupt. Mommy's talking, okay? Yes, okay, so we'll be there. Okay, did you see that scenario? That third scenario is what you do. Quickly correct it, but don't give encouragement to it, all right? So, I love children. They're God's blessing. I've devoted my entire life to children. I'm a pediatrician, have 4 children of my own. They're 21, 18, 16, 15, so I've kind of been down this road. And with my kids, you should see what I used to do with my kids. I used to be like, shh. Yes, sir. That might not work for everybody, but my children learned that when I gave them that, they needed to be quiet. All right, so I'm putting this video out there because I'm seeing a trend, and what's happening is children are not learning impulse control. They're learning that every time they have to say something, every little fleeting thought, they have a right to say it at that moment. Yes, we want to hear what children have to say, but not every time is going to be appropriate. So I'm just kind of hoping to spare you from the calls from the teachers because little Johnny can't wait his turn to answer questions. Okay? All right, y'all, that's all. Bye.